This is George Sawtooth. I'm here at Sandstone Ranch Park near Longmont. This beautiful tree here is a Kentucky coffee tree. And see these pods? In the old days, when these pods, there's beans inside. And when you let them dry and get ripe and get dry, a lot of people would ground those beans up and make a kind of a coffee. They said it's horrible tasting, so I don't know why you would do that, but they did that in the old days. I don't think there's any caffeine in it either. So otherwise, very beautiful tree, Kentucky coffee tree. They do really well here in Colorado. Here's a western or northern catalpa, and it has beans as well, pods. In the springtime, it has beautiful, beautiful white flowers that kind of look like an orchid. They're native to the southeast United States, as is the Kentucky coffee tree. But they do well in Colorado as well. There's also a southern catalpa, but I don't think southern catalpas grow here in Colorado, but they're a very similar tree. This is a linden or a basswood. Kind of looks like a little leaf linden. Little leaf lindens, they're from Europe. There's another tree very similar, but the leaves are way huger, called American linden or American basswood, and their shape is more pyramidal. Kind of look like a pyramid. And they're both beautiful trees, but I actually prefer the American linden. These are cottonwood trees here. Now this tree over here, these do really well in Colorado. Hackberry tree. I've mentioned hackberry trees previously in a lot of my videos because they do so well in Colorado. A lot of these trees, they don't mind the heat and they don't mind the low rainfall. You know, Colorado only averages about 15 inches a year of rain a year. Along the Front Range here, this is a hackberry tree. They get little berries. I don't know if they're edible, but I don't know what they taste like. And then the little leaves get these galls. See these galls here? These little insects, they burrow into the leaves and then they create these little pockets where they lay their eggs. And it doesn't damage the tree at all though. But for some reason, hackberry trees are very susceptible to those little insects. See how brown it is here. This is Colorado. When you don't water, this is what happens in Colorado. It gets so hot and dry. It doesn't rain. You know, back in the old days, it used to rain a lot more in Colorado that I remember. I grew up in the eastern part of Colorado, and it seems like every afternoon in the summer, June, July, August, the whole western sky would cloud up with clouds, and they would drift over and they would just pour rain, 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, sometimes 1 inch, thunderstorms. Really amazing, but you really don't get that much anymore. Last 20 years, how the weather patterns have kind of changed. This is my maple girl. She's hot, but she loves to go for walks. She has beautiful yellow eyes like a wolf. Here's an old grain silo up there. Here's a tree that's a lot of times oak trees and sometimes aspen trees. A lot of maple trees get something called chlorosis. See how the leaves are kind of yellow? This kind of looks like a bur oak. Swamp white oak or a bur oak. But see how the leaves are getting kind of yellow here? That's chlorosis. That's Colorado soil's a very high pH, above 7, and so the iron in the soil is bound up due to that pH, and the trees can't use that iron. And iron is an essential nutrient for photosynthesis. And unfortunately, due to the high pH, and some individual trees are more prone than others, due to the high pH, it can't use the iron in the soil. So that's why it's getting these very yellow leaves. So if you see a lot of trees in Colorado that are very yellow, it's probably due to chlorosis, and a lot of maple trees. And unfortunately, over time it kills the tree unless you supplement this tree with iron, which is very difficult. You have to do it yearly, sometimes twice a year, over the lifetime of the tree. So I'm doing a couple videos, maybe tomorrow or the next day. I'm going up to Rocky Mountain National Park. There are 2 individuals. One died mysteriously, the other died of natural causes. And I don't want to give too much away, but hopefully they're going to be very interesting videos. I kind of have to put all this stuff into memory. Otherwise it doesn't sound too good when I read it on paper, but sometimes I have to do that, because although I know the stories really well, you kind of have to have your notes with you, because you forget a lot of stuff when you're doing these videos. But I'm trying to commit all this stuff to my memory so I don't have to refer to my notes too much. And these stories I've known about for many years, because I was an avid reader when I was a young man. Well, I still am as an old man, but I used to read all the time as a young boy, because that's all there was to do. I grew up on a farm. I used to chase rabbits a lot. I had a dog. We used to catch rabbits. We used to release rabbits in my mom and dad's house. Those crazy rabbits would disappear for a couple days. My mom would get, "George, you're releasing those darn rabbits in our house. Why are you doing that?" Eventually the rabbits got hungry and they came out, and I would catch them and I would release them back into the farm so they can go eat and drink. Oh, there's some currant bushes, and Maple, she loves to look for either rabbits or rodents. And when she finds them, she goes crazy. This dog, she pulls me over so many times. She has pulled me over so many times. She is so strong. This dog is so strong. I bet you she could beat up a Arnold Schwarzenegger in his better years. Can't believe how much muscle this dog has. She's a Pitsky. She's half husky, half pit bull, and she has these beautiful yellow eyes that like a wolf. But once in a while she kind of goes kind of crazy. One time I let her off the leash up in the mountains, and that was one huge mistake of mine. I had to chase her down. It's a hot day today. There's a bluff over here. Unfortunately, they don't let dogs go into that area. And I have no idea why. Why would you not let a dog go in that bluff area? Because you could go walk. There's an outlook, and you go walk and look down at the St. Vrain River. That's an old silo. This used to be an old farm. They've just turned it into a park. That's what's going to happen to all the old farms along the Front Range. They're either going to be turned into parks or it's going to be turned into subdivisions. And just right here, east of here, northeast of here is the Flight 629, United Flight 629 debris field that fell November 1st, 1955, blown up by 25 sticks of dynamite by Jack Graham. And they are building houses on that site. How would you like to buy a house where 44 bodies were recovered from a crash site? I was in contact with a lady that lived there. She grew up in the 60s, 70s. She said that she had encountered some ghosts from those that Flight 629. I kind of wanted her to come on my channel and kind of explain to me what her ghost stories, but at first she wanted to, but then she declined later. Not sure why. It's a hot day right over here. These GoPro cameras, unfortunately, there's Boulder up there. There's the Flatirons just west of Boulder. Just west of those Flatirons is James Peak Wilderness. Just to the north of James Peak is the Moffat Tunnel, 6-mile tunnel, train tunnel, built in 1928, I think completed in 1929. What a great feat of engineering back in those days, 1928, 1929. Those engineers had to be so mathematically accurate, because those tunnels, they would start on each end. The western part actually ends in Winter Park, Colorado, and then the eastern part is over by James Peak Wilderness, by Rollinsville, a town called Rollinsville. And then I should take my Toyota Tacoma on Rollins Pass. You can go up Rollins Pass. Yeah, very beautiful. Here's a ball field here. Man, it's a hot day. There's some willow trees here. Just letting these people go with these dogs. See how brown it is. When you don't water in Colorado, everything turns brown. So look out for a couple videos coming up soon on George Sawtooth YouTube channel. There's a footbridge right here. The St. Vrain River is just right over here. This is probably just a tributary creek right here. They built a footbridge over this. See if it says anything. 10,000 pounds. I might be able to walk over it. Shoemaker Avenue, Santa Fe, California. 10,000 pounds. I'm pretty fat. Beautiful. There's cattails over there. Ouch. Man, that iron is hot. Whew. You fry an egg on this iron here. Oh, this tree here is kind of silvery leaves, slender leaves. That's a Russian olive. Russian olive. They love water. That's why he's growing next to the water here. Russian olive tree. I think they do get olives. I don't think they're edible though. There's another Kentucky coffee tree. Okay, Maple, hey, let's go over and see this grain silo over here. I'll show you guys something here. See these plants? This is milkweed. Milkweed. The caterpillars of monarch butterflies love these plants. They feed on these plants. Oh, there, look at, there's a ladybug there. This whole grain silo actually has a dome. All these old grain silos there are so old. Probably a lot of them even date back, I bet you, to the 1920s, a lot of them. When farmers had to store their grain. Before there was a lot of transportation going on. Before they got a lot of trucks coming in, getting your grain and taking it somewhere to be milled. Boy, my maple dog, she's really looking for rodents. Skate park right over here. Alright, this is George Sawtooth signing off. Way in the distance, Long's Peak, Mount Meeker, Mount Audubon. Went for a short hike today. Some sagebrush here. Some juniper trees. This is beautiful over here, this wetland area. Alright, till the next video. Take care. God bless.